Okay, I am flying solo today. It's just me. And I'm going to be I'm focusing primarily today on toxicity and detoxification. I will say this is traditionally the most overwhelming topic for people. Typically, as you know, we do our workshops in person, and a lot of the time there will be this moment where people will just get this like glass look over their face. Okay, Elena's texting me that I'm good. I'll get this people will get this look over their face like, they're with me, they're with me, they're with me. And then all of a sudden they're not, and they're losing it. So if that comes a point in time, I think there will come a point in time. I just want you guys to know that if you change one thing a month, a year from now, you're a completely different person. If you are going through changing over your personal products, your cleaning products, the things in your home, just think, okay, you know what? When I run out of this cleaning product, I'm going to go get a new one, and it's going to be a better choice. I think although it might be the most overwhelming, I also personally think it's the easiest essential to implement because you're not really making huge changes within your lifestyle. You're simply switching from one product to another product. So it really is easy, and ultimately it makes a huge difference within your health. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. But before we do that, our purpose with Dr. Xavier and I, we just want you guys to know. So this is what we do with the 5 essentials. So mindset, detoxification, chiropractic care, exercise, nutrition. Ultimately, it should be the standard of healthcare, no matter who you're seeing as your healthcare professional. But mostly, we just want every single person in our office to feel empowered to make their own decisions regarding their health. Not what the media tells them they should be doing for their health, not even what their primary doctor should be doing for their health, not even what we are telling you to do for your health, but I want you to research every single decision and make your own educated decision for your health, and especially your children's health. I was just talking about this yesterday with a friend. Every single thing that you do regarding your child and their health, I want you to research and make the choice that you feel is best for you and your family. So that's what we feel our purpose is as doctors. So last week, if you tuned in last week, it was all about the nervous system and how having a healthy nervous system is the number one thing that you can do for your health. We can talk about nutrition all day, right? If your nerves that tell your digestive organs to digest the nutrients and assimilate them throughout your body, if those aren't working, then it doesn't matter. You can take all the good supplements in the world. If your body can't process them in the fullest capacity, it doesn't matter. You can exercise, but if the nerve's telling your thyroid to function and heal, can't communicate at 100%, it doesn't matter. So if the only thing that you're doing for your health is getting adjusted, then that's the best thing that you can be doing, because the nervous system controls absolutely everything. Your heart to beat, your lungs to breathe, a cut to heal on your foot, your body to heal your pain, your body to heal cancer, your body to detox. The signal goes down the spinal cord, out the nerves, and the nerves control absolutely everything. So your nervous system, there's no way your body is going to express health in the fullest capacity if your nervous system has pressure on it through misalignments in the spine. And that's all what we talked about last week. So go ahead and hop on and listen to that one too. So as it relates to toxicity, a study showed that 95% of cancers are due to environment and lifestyle. All right. So your genes do not determine whether or not you're going to have cancer, right? Just because your grandmother had cancer, just because your father had cancer, does not mean that you're going to have cancer or heart disease. Dr. Xavier talks about this all the time. It's epigenetics, and the choices that we make every single day, they're either going to turn on the bad genes or they're going to turn off the good genes. And here's the thing, is even if throughout your life, up until this point, you've been making the same decisions as your family, turning on those bad genes, well, guess what? It's not too late. Your body's always healing, and you can still turn off those bad genes and turn on the good genes. Now, when I see this slide and I think about life's environment, I think about 2 types of environment. I think about our internal environment. And then I also think of course, this is what we're talking about today, the environment that we surround ourselves with. But our internal environment is huge too, right? Our body, to fight viruses, to fight bacterial infections, to fight cancers, we have to have a healthy internal environment. And in order to have a healthy internal environment, we have to be making sure that we minimize toxic exposure as just one piece of the puzzle. So only 5 to 10% of cancer is actually been found to be genetic. 5%. And I think that's incredible. And ultimately, I think that that's encouraging. We'll talk about detoxification and what that looks like, but how toxins affect us. We are exposed to hundreds of toxins every single day. I'm going to go through a typical day in the next slide here, but we talk about our cosmetic products. We talk about the environment around us. We talk about the foods that we eat, but ultimately toxins have been shown to damage enzymes, organs, and DNA, right? That's the biggest thing, DNA damage. And there's more and more and more research coming out about this all the time, but it can also disrupt your hormones, and hormones play a huge issue into health and even displace some of our minerals. So these toxins that have a dramatic damaging effect on the body, and we are exposed to them on a daily basis, which is why continuing to support our detoxification pathways pretty much continuously is crucial. And I'll talk about what that looks like towards the end of this too. So let's just go through a typical day. So the average person wakes up and they are sleeping on a mattress that's full of flame retardants. All right. So if you're not familiar with flame retardants, just Google it, flame retardants in health, and you'll see all of this research that's coming out. Flame retardants, I'll talk about it more on the next slide. We brush our teeth with toothpaste that has fluoride in it. It has SLS in it. Then we get in the shower and we use our personal products that are filled with fragrances, that are filled with parabens. Then we get out and we use our lotions, same thing. We use our makeup, same thing. They're filled with all of these toxic ingredients shown to disrupt our hormones, shown to cause neurotoxins, shown to cause cancers. And then we go out to the kitchen and we drink our genetically modified coffee and we fill it with Splenda or NutraSweet or sucralose, those yellow and pink packets. Then we go through the drive-through to get breakfast on the way. All day at work, we're drinking unpurified water that's filled with lead and more fluoride and chlorine. And then we are celebrating somebody's birthday at work. So there's always donuts or cookies. And then we have our diet soda, which is more artificial sweeteners. And then we're working on surfaces that have been cleaned with Clorox. And then there's air pollution in our house. And we take our medications and it's like we are bombarded with toxins every single day. So I've probably already overwhelmed you guys thinking, oh my gosh, that's me. Oh my gosh, that's me. Oh my gosh, that's me. So bear with me because I'm going to go through that. So just with some of those examples, so Dr. Xavier and I, when we ordered our mattress, we made sure to specifically request, we have our mattress from a company called IntelliBed, and it's amazing. BioPosture is also a great company. But when we got this mattress, we specifically said, hey, can you withhold the flame retardants? So you have to think a mattress, you're spending a third of your life on your mattress. So it's really important to invest in a good one. So that was something that we value, right? So of course you have to decide, okay, what do I value? What do I not value? And I'll talk more about where we are a little bit more lax, but our mattress, that's not one of them. That's a big deal. So we use toothpaste that is fluoride free. The Jason's brand is really great. The Dr. Bronner's brand is really great. As far as our personal products, we like the brand Jason's. There's tons of different brands out there. Again, I talked about this last week, but I highly recommend getting the app on your phone, EWG Skin Deep. Or getting the Think Dirty app, and it rates your personal products from 1 to 5 and how toxic they are. So just start going through this. And again, just think, okay, well, right now I'm using Pantene. Okay, so when that runs out, I'm going to make a switch to a better brand, right? It's not hard. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, but there's likely a lot of changes that need to be made. And then we get out of the shower and I just use coconut oil as my lotion, and you just use a little bit and you're not greasy. If you use too much, yes, you're going to be greasy, but that's the only ingredient. The only thing in there is coconut oil. It's extremely hydrating. It's great for your skin. So that's less expensive than all these fancy, like we don't use fancy products. It's just simple. Honestly, the simpler, the better. Even for your face wash, You can just use Norwex cloths for your face wash. You can just use coconut oil. Yep, you can just use coconut oil for your face wash. Like, it's simple. And then your makeup. So for me, I buy Beauty Counter for my, the one that goes, I can't think of it right now, my tinted moisturizer, because that's something that goes across my entire face. But something that I'm a little bit more lax on would be like my eyeshadow, because I figure, you know what, it's just on a tiny piece of my skin. I'm okay with that. But there are great brands. The Crunchy brand is great. I like Tarte. It's a lesser of the evil. But I'm just trying to decide, okay, how much surface area is this product covering? We skip the perfume, because perfume is one of the most toxic things you can put onto your body. If we use perfume, or Dr. Xavier uses cologne, it's only for a special occasion, and it's sprayed on our clothes and not on our skin. Now, if Dr. Xavier were here with me, he would go through all the science and all the studies as to why, but he's the studies guy. I'm just here to tell you, I can provide the studies if you want. I'm not good at talking about them. It's bad, and switch it. Keep it simple. That's just my personality. So, but I can get those to you if you want them. But they do make perfumes that are made with essential oils, so you can try those too. Make sure that you're getting a non-genetically modified coffee. And then instead of using those blue and pink sugar packets, your Splenda, your NutraSweet, your sucralose, those are linked to prostate cancer, to breast cancer, to brain cancer. Those are the ones that I would say don't even finish the ones that you have. Just get rid of them. Get them out of your house. They're so toxic. And instead, use like a liquid stevia or even a monk fruit. The powder stevia will make your coffee taste gross, but the liquid stevia doesn't. So I really like the hazelnut flavored liquid stevia in my coffee. Dr. Xavier just has his black. But that's a huge, huge toxicity factor. That's an easy change. Obviously, we don't go to the drive-thrus. That's an easy one. Just prepare your breakfast ahead of time. Avoid the drive-thru. Even if you go to McDonald's and you're like, well, I'm just getting the smoothie. Okay, well, look up the ingredients in your smoothie. There's not even actual like milk and fruit in those. It's just chemicals. We do drink purified water. There are plenty of different options. The most inexpensive brand is to use the Berkey filter, and that's going to get rid of lead and fluoride. I mean, in our water, there's medications, there's birth control, there's heavy metals. So making sure that that's another huge thing. Water is another big, big, big one, because we drink it all day long. So you want to make sure that you're drinking a clean water source, and it's not from a water bottle, because BPA, we'll talk about that next. Try to avoid the cookies and the donuts that are at work. As it relates to diet sodas, those have those artificial sweeteners that I was talking about. So we don't drink soda. If we do, we like the Zevia brand, Zevia. It's sweetened with erythritol and stevia. So that's another switch that you can just, okay, I'm running out of my soda. I'm going to switch over to this. It's obviously more expensive to buy this Zevia, but you can either cut the soda addiction, or you can spend a little bit more money and not damage your health as much as regular soda would. When we're craving carbonation, we tend to go for kombucha, because kombucha has those good probiotics that are good for your gut health, and it still satisfies that carbonation craving. I'm going to talk more about cleaners, and then we also have air purifiers in the house too. Air purifiers can tend to be a little bit more expensive. So if you can't do that, then just open up the windows. And whenever there's a nice day, I always recommend opening up all the windows in the house. It is crucial to just get healthy air circulating in your house as much as possible, especially as we enter into the season where people tend to be more sick because there isn't sunshine. We're not outside getting fresh air. We're eating junk because it's the holidays. So open up those windows and get fresh air in. And then as it relates to medications, oftentimes, yes, some medications are necessary, but oftentimes those medications are covering up a problem. Your high cholesterol, the answer is not a statin medication. Your high blood pressure, the answer is not high blood pressure medication. Your acid reflux, Nexium is not the answer. So this is what we do, is help people determine what is causing your problems. And if you get to the cause, you no longer need those medications. So We can help you with that too. I just want to go through common, easy other things in your household. So number one, pots and pans. And if you've been to any one of our workshops, Dr. Xavier and I talk oftentimes about Teflon and how damaging Teflon is. So it's actually been banned in many other countries. And I believe as of this year, it was supposed to be banned in America, but this year, I don't know if that's happened or not, because it's been a very different year than usual. But what they did was they used Teflon. They funneled the steam from cooking with Teflon into a cage of birds, and all of the birds died, all of them. Okay, so birds have very sensitive lungs. But now take a step back. Obviously, we're not that sensitive. We're not that small. But if that's what's happening to birds, do you think it's damaging our health? Yes, absolutely. And if it's damaging enough for other countries to ban it, do you think it's damaging to your health? Yes, for America to ban it, or even for that to be on the docket of banning it. So basically anything that says non-stick is likely Teflon cookware. So if it says specifically, it's PFOA and PFTE. So when you're buying your pans, those are the things that you want to watch out for: PFOA, PF, and TE. So we like to use ceramic, and we like to use cast iron. Another great option is stainless steel. I have not mastered cooking with stainless steel. So if anybody has and can give me tips, that would be great. But those are the three options that you want to look for. Those are the things that are not going to have those PFOAs and PFTEs, and they're not going to be damaging to your health. So yep, that's another easy switch. And these pans, they're pretty much anywhere nowadays. You can get them at HomeGoods, you can get them online, you can get them at Bed Bath & Beyond. And then the other thing, so flame retardants. I wanted to hit on flame retardants because more and more research is coming out, and they're in everything. They're in our clothes. Mamas, they're on your baby's strollers. They're on your body's car seats. They are in your nursing pillows. They're on televisions, computers, adhesives, upholstery. They're in our carpets. They're everywhere. And especially with babies crawling all over everything, these flame retardants have been shown to be extremely toxic. So what they are doing is they're linking them to cancer. They've been shown to harm the liver, the kidney, brain, the testicles, and they are persisting to accumulate in the environment, and they are associated with neurodevelopmental problems in children. So minimizing our exposure to those, and we choose to do that through our mattress. We have not gotten to the point where we're buying organic clothes or anything like that, because when I'm going through these topics, again, it's easy to get overwhelmed, but it's also easy for anxiety to spike and you to look at every single item and think, oh my gosh, I can't do anything right. Well, Dr. Xavier and I choose to not live our life that way. We choose to understand that our bodies are created amazing. Our bodies are fearfully and wonderfully made, and it can handle toxic exposure, right? Our body was created to be able to withstand these things, but we do want to do everything in our power to, again, help those detoxification pathways and minimize exposure as much as possible. But that's just something, if you're like, that's interesting, I want to learn more about it, just type in flame retardants and you'll see a lot of information that's coming up on that. It can affect fertility too. Okay, toxins living in your home, specifically DEA and SLS. Those are two big ones that I want to hit on. Now this is like, write these down. I'm pulling up this slide. These are the writer downers, if you will, or screenshot. So parabens, synthetic colors, fragrances, phthalates, triclosan, SLS, formaldehyde, I can't even say that one, propylene, and chemicals in your sunscreen. And then I would like to add to this one, DEA. So these are the most common things found in your personal products. So if you were to go to your shower right now, flip over your shampoo container, how many of these would you see in there? That's my question to you. So these are the ones that are the most damaging to your health that you really want to look out for. So when I started first learning all of this, I would flip over my label, I would read it, I would look for these toxic top 10, and if I found it, I would say, okay, well, now when I run out of this, I'm going to get a new product. And now those new products, they're what I've been using for years and years and years. So write these ones down, start looking for them, start reading the ingredients label, and beware of tricky marketing, because just because the label of something says it's a better product, or it's a green product, or it's clean, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually clean. A lot of the Target brands make you think that they're better, but ultimately when you flip it over and read the ingredients, these are the things that are in there. Copper pots. So we got a question here on going back, on copper pots and pans. It's going to be a lesser of the evil, but copper pans, it's still a heavy metal, and you want to limit your exposure to heavy metal. So Alzheimer's and copper, there are very strong correlation with those things. Great info. I wish I could watch later, believe it or not, at the gym. Yeah, girl, get your gym on. It'll be archived. You can listen later. Okay. So Barbie, hopefully that answers your question on that. I would say it's better, but there's also a next level better as well. And if it says nonstick, I would look out to see if there's PFOAs and PFTs in there as well. And then another thing is the cleaning products that we use. In a previous workshop, Dr. Xavier and I talked about the damaging effects of Clorox, and we pronounced the big, long ingredients that are in Clorox and how it's harming your health. We use all Norwex to clean our house for absolutely everything. Norwex it's basically just the cleaning cloths, but they also have detergents like laundry detergent, they have dishwashing detergent, they have descalers, like they have everything that you can imagine. So we use that, and then we also use our doTERRA essential oils. And I will tell you, in the office we use, it's called Force of Nature, and it's a COVID approved. It's on the EPA website to being approved for COVID, for killing the virus. But it's basically high dose hydrogen peroxide. And then there's another ingredient, and it's non-toxic to your health. So, and it has that like bleach smell to it as well. So people really like to hear that or smell that. It makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. So let me know if you have any questions on that as far as personal products go. If you want to know more about what we use at home, I'm happy to take you guys through that, to post some pictures about the cleaning products that we're using, the personal products that we're using. I'm happy to help you guys with that. Okay, so lastly, one of the big ones in your house. So we're talking big ones in your household: pots and pans, cleaners, personal products, and then lastly, plastic food storage containers. So even when you buy your food in plastic, now this is unavoidable in some way, but when you have an option, make the option to not buy it in a plastic container. Or even cans have a lot of BPA. So this study found that people who ate canned soup for 5 days had 1,200% higher urine BPA levels. And again, BPA is an endocrine disruptor, meaning that it affects normal hormonal production and function. It can lead to reproductive issues, causes an increased risk of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. So if that's not reason enough to look around at the products that you're buying and say, okay, how can I make a better choice? I don't know what is. Now, normally I take you guys through the grocery store and I show you how to read a label, how to make better choices. But I haven't been able to do that this entire year. Hopefully next year I can get back to doing that for you guys. Oh, and you know what? I meant to talk about this. This is a great question. Okay, so the deodorant that I have, I'm so tempted to run and go get it, but I'm not going to do that. I have an activated charcoal deodorant. So that's the one that I use, and it actually works. So for me, the baking soda would make me break out in a rash, and that's really, really common. The baking soda can tend to be very abrasive. And then women will say, oh my gosh, I was using it for 2 weeks, or men, and then I started breaking out. Well, yeah, that's because of the baking soda. That's not everyone doesn't have that experience. That was mine. I know a lot of people use Schmidt's. That's a good brand. I also read that some people have just been using vinegar, which is also a great cleaning product. So cleaning with just vinegar and water at home is amazing. I just don't like the smell of vinegar all that much to clean with it in my house, but that's a cheap, non-toxic option. So these things don't have to be expensive. expensive either. I haven't tried that yet. I want to. So I guess they've been doing like a vinegar and water diluted spray. So I thought that was really interesting, and that's worth a try. I will say, for me personally, in all transparency, deodorant is one of the hardest things that I struggle with because of that baking soda sensitivity. And obviously, I'm very close to people all day long, so I get very self-conscious. I don't want to be the smelly chiropractor. Yeah, that is a struggle for me, but I'm doing great with the activated charcoal deodorant. So if you want to message me and I can send you the label of that, then I'm happy to do that. So just let me know. You guys, these questions are great. I'm loving it. Okay. So the importance of detoxification. So now I'm going to go through the 5 essentials. Oh, I'm talking a lot. Okay, I'm going to go through the 5 essentials super fast. And basically, Dr. Xavier and I recommend doing some level of detoxification every single year. And they are, my good friend Amy just asked me like, hey, what detoxification do you recommend? Like what program can I do? And there are so many different things you can do. You can do something as simple as once a month, do a 24-hour water fast. That's an amazing, free, easy way to detox. So there has been so many studies that show when you are not taking in food, when you're detoxing by fasting, through fasting and drinking water, there is cellular repair that happens. It's a complete immune system reboot. It's a complete hormonal reboot. And you would be surprised. A lot of people will say, oh, I can never do that. Yes, you can. If you drink enough water, you'd be surprised how you won't get hungry, how little food you actually need to live on. It is extremely eye-opening. So that's one option. I recommend for pretty much all of my practice members, especially as they're going through the corrective portion of their care, to do a 10-day sugar detox. You can commit to 10 days, basically just doing meat and vegetables. That means no starchy carbohydrates because that turns to sugar in your system. No sugar drinks, no fruit for 10 days. And that is going to be a complete reset. You'll detox from the sugar. For the first 3 days, you feel terrible because you're literally detoxing. But then after that, oh my gosh, your joint pain is better. Oh my gosh, I lost 8 pounds. Oh my gosh, I was sleeping better. My anxiety was better. Yep. So that's another option. The detox system that we carry in the office is amazing. And I don't know if this is going to translate on video, but I'm going to try it. Okay. So this is cellophane. Okay. So this is probably loud. Every single cell in your body has this called a bilipid layer. Can you see? Yeah. A bilipid layer around it. It's like this. Okay. And when we become toxic through the foods we eat, the vaccines we're given, the medication that we take, the toxins I just went through in our environment, what happens is this bilipid layer closes in and tightens around our cell in a protective state because it wants to protect our internal organs from all of these toxins. And over time, they tighten on the cell. And now it's not letting the good things into the cell and the bad things out of the cell because it's tightened, it's toxic around there. So you're trying to do all the right things, but you're not losing weight. For example, because your body is protecting your vital organs from the toxins. If you're having weight loss resistance, if you've hit a spot where you plateaued, you need to detox. So what our detox is going to do is it's going to help break that. It's a cellular detox. So it's going to break that toxic cell layer with the morning supplement, and then the nighttime one, it binds to those toxins and it pulls them out of the body. It's an amazing product as opposed to just a liver detox, just a colon detox. It's a cellular detox. So we recommend everyone doing that at least once a year. If you have deeper issues going on, you might need to stay on it for a 3-month period. So that's another detox option. You've got True Cellular Detox from Dr. Pompa. If you have ever been exposed to mold, if you grew up in a house with mold and you've never detoxed from that, or if you have worked in a place with mold, or if you are currently in a house with mold, that is not something to be ignored. It has very, very bad implications on your health, and you have to detox from it. You have to eliminate that mold from your house. If I found out my house had mold in it, or my apartment or my condo, I would move, because it's that bad for your health. So detoxing, doing a heavy detox from that stuff. There's several different options. I'm forgetting the one name off the top of my head right now. But let me know, because I want to help you with that. I don't know if you guys remember Luann, who used to work at our office. Her condo, every single fall, she would turn on the heat and she would start having seizures, right? And so this happened. She was working at our office. We couldn't figure it out. And I said, didn't this happen last year about this time? And I said, did you turn on your heat? She said, yep. As it turns out, when she would turn on the heat, the vents would blow. It would blow mold throughout her condo, and her body response was to have seizures. So they pulled up the flooring, and they live in the bottom floor of the condo. There was mold everywhere. So we did a heavy detox from her on that. And guess what? Her seizures were gone. Now, I'm not saying that every single person with seizures, this is their issue, because every single person's body is going to express their symptoms differently. But for her case, that's what it was. And there could be more drastic ramifications than that even. So it's a big deal and not something to be ignored. And then BioRay, they're another great company that has detox products as well. So I do recommend consistently supporting your detoxification pathways. One everyday supplement that's great. It's called NAC, N-acetylcysteine and glycine. That's a product that we have in the office as well. But mamas, if you are pregnant or breastfeeding, you can't detox because you don't want to pass those toxins on to the baby. Of course, your detoxification pathways are controlled within your nervous system. I have to go super fast because I'm running out of time. These here are the warning signs that your nervous system has pressure on it. So these are the most common reasons why people come see us to get adjusted. And 9 times out of 10, if we can find the cause, whether that be only subluxation, whether that be subluxation and toxicity, whether that be subluxation and nutrition, they're going to walk out with these things better. But you have to be willing to put in the work to make the changes so that your body can function and heal normally. My newsletter this week, Morgan sent that out yesterday, was all about stress. So you can read that. But the last thing that I want to talk about is sweat. So sweat releases toxins. Studies have even been shown that it will release BPA. So that's what's in those plastic, in those cans. So it is crucial. All next week, we're going to be talking about fitness. And we're going to be talking about sweating, but you need to sweat. Your body, it's going to relieve your stress. It's going to increase endorphins. That movement of the spine is going to help your pain levels. But getting your heart rate up and making sure that you're sweating, this is why an infrared sauna, we have an infrared sauna at home. Those are amazing for detoxification, for weight loss. All natural cancer treatment centers have them. Now, there are local places that you can go to get in the sauna. Specifically, infrared sauna is the best kind of sauna that you can get in. The ones with the coals at the gym, they actually have a lot of EMF in them, which EMF, that's a whole nother topic. All I have to say about that is the new iPhone, it's 5G capable, and you're going to want to stay away from that. That's a whole nother soapbox that I don't have time for. I really love this topic, but there's just a lot to talk about on it. But you need to make sure that you get moving and you get sweating so that you can release those toxins through your sweat. That's all that I have time to talk about today. Get on your, hydration, water. Make sure that it is purified water. The body is composed of 60% water containing minerals. A lot of other countries have minerals in their water, but for some reason in America, we've taken all the minerals out of our water as well. But you need to drink half of your body weight in ounces of water every single day. And this is the detox system that we have in the office that I was referring to. It's an absolutely amazing product. So it'll be 10% off all next week. I'm trying to see if I have any other questions. Nope, I don't have any other questions. I know that this is like a quick an abrupt version, but hopefully you guys have a takeaway and things that you can implement. But if you have any other questions, let me know and I'm happy to help. All right, you guys have a great weekend.